The WNBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by the SGPN app. Get all of our free picks and podcasts in one convenient app. Download the SGPN app today. Yes, sir. We are back with another edition of the WNBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. No me, no voice, no guy. It's me, really real, villain real, Terrell Furman Jr. here at Short. Where is it at? Do you see it, right?
Let me check. I'm sure it's here somewhere.
I this is the second time, and now I have
Yes,
a serious
it's right
question. No, I don't see it. It doesn't happen for me. I can't click anything. Where? How do I? Is there something different? This is annoying, Scott.
Are you in WNBA or are you in NBA folder?
No, I'm in WNBA. I'm in.
It's in the NBA one. It's not in the WNBA one.
No, I'm in NBA.
It's the third to last, all the way at the bottom.
No, I'm pretty sure I'm in the right spot.
I hit the button anyway. So.
No, but why do I not have the? Okay, so like I see the lower thirds because we're about to talk about the Portland Fire on the win totals episode here of the WNBA Gambling Podcast. I see that. I can click that, you see, but I can't. I don't have it. I just don't have it. Wow.
Are you in the music? You're in the music section, same thing, whatever?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
It's past the AI generated section. Actually, no, sorry. It's in the, it's past the AI generated. You scroll down. I moved it to the top. It's in the custom section.
Yeah, I know. It normally is. I don't know why I can't do it.
That's interesting. All right, cool. I'll handle the sound effects.
All right. Very annoying. If you don't know, that's Scott Studio Reichel. Scott, what's going on? See, like
I'm hitting the button now. There's a delay.
Yeah, I know. It's just
Scotty, beat me up.
Surprise.
Yeah, it feels good. Back for the Western Conference. We did the Eastern Conference last episode. So if you want our win total thoughts there, find it on this channel as well. But happy to go through 8 teams. We did 7 in the Eastern Conference. Once again, they're expanding. So we are 1 team shorter in the East and the West. But either way, it should be fun.
All right. Also, I just want to remind everybody that we're talking about conferences, but this is not real. Hey, you're getting into the playoffs for being one of the top 8 teams. It doesn't matter what side of the coin you're at. And that's how we can have some very annoying playoff series, seeing some teams travel back and forth in that first round. But this is not a real construct. This is for the terms of, hey, we had to split these 2 episodes up. It was way too many teams at this point. Let's kick things off with Portland. Brand new expansion team that, I mean, I've talked about it on the NBA show, and finally we're here officially on our show to talk about it again. The fact that they had to move on from their first team president, like, immediately, it told me exactly what I thought that this team was gonna do. Like I knew that this was going to be dysfunction. But basically, Inky's son was the president of the team. They were fired on June 27th. June 27th, 2025. Fired. The fired was announced about a month before the team was about to like launch the team and the brand and who they were going to be and everything. It was talk about significant growing pains, a lack of connection between ownership and the local community, and the whole overall rollout of the team was just off. And so you could see that because you saw Toronto very much You knew that there was a team coming to Toronto. There was a rollout of the name of the tempo. They got the logo, and it was like all this nice, clean thing. And then Portland just, all right, we know Portland has a team, but we're not hearing anything. What's going on? So here we are. We are now beginning the season. We have moved on. Portland has gotten a new interim president. They made who's the interim president? What was that name again? Hold on. Yeah, so Portland now has a new interim president, longtime Nike executive Claire Hamil. They have gone. They hired a coach. They went, had the draft. Bridget Carlton was their big expansion pick. And all of this new team, new roster, new players, all of that. Looking at what's going on here, Maya Caldwell coming over from the Atlanta Dream, probably going to be a starting guard, big in the rotation there for Maya Caldwell. Chloe Bibby, Emily Angsler over there from the Mystics, Haley Jones, a journeywoman at this point in time. Nika Mule, they went and got Sarah Ashley Barker from the Lakers, Carla Lette from the Valkyrie, Sug Sutton coming over as well, Mega Gustafsson coming over from the Aces. So Louisa Gasolder, center coming from Dallas, Carly Sampson, all of that. So they put together a little bit of a roster. Alex Sarama is the head coach here. I give you all of that backstory about this team. And I throw it over to Scott because I have been very, very vocal. This started as a bunch of shit. You fired your president almost immediately. You had no idea what was going on when you rolled out this team. It doesn't even seem like you're even ready for a WNBA team. And now I'm supposed to believe that you took this ragtag group of players and y'all are going to be somewhat competitive in what the league is right now? Absolutely not. No way.
Yeah, for the record, they have the lowest win total for the entire league. We said in the Eastern Conference, the Sun were at about like 12.5, 11.5, give or take. Portland is projected to finish dead last, which is how most expansion teams end up doing early on. Toronto actually spent some money and got some actual players. Portland took the other route, which was, what if we just sucked? What if we just got a couple of people in the expansion draft, and besides that, we mainly just went relatively cheap on the roster? There were some reports as well involving like training camp, etc., that their new coach, Alex Sarama, is using some unique type of training approach. So they're experimenting entirely with this actual team. Now, their main player, based on, I'd say, name recognition, is Bridget Carlton, who's had a couple of moments with the Lynx, but she tends to be a bench player, and she's arguably the best player on the entire team. It's going to be a long and painful season for the Fire. I think this team's going to be horrendous. We did the Eastern Conference already. Spoiler, we think every team in the East is better than this team. And we didn't even talk about the West yet. So I think the Fire are going to win maybe like 6 games. This could be one of the worst teams ever constructed. And you're looking at the, once again, incentive for the Fire. You're building through the draft. It's what most expansion teams do, not to mention the entire franchise being in disarray already before the first game ever started for the franchise. Pretty simple under for me. I think Carlton's a solid player, but she was mainly a bench player with the Lynx. Do I think she's ready to take the reins, dropping like 18 points a game as a starter? No. We know that, once again, Sutton can be a decent point guard. She was also kind of in the role at the Mystics over the last couple of years. So I think this team's awful. I think they're easily the worst team in the entire league, and I think they might win like 6 games. They really might end up going like 6-38, and it wouldn't shock me. I love the under on this team. They are going to be awful, and I know that we definitely co-sign that. Whether the franchise was in disarray or not, this roster is objectively bad. It's easily the worst roster in the entire league, and with all the talent we're seeing, with all of the roster is really being spread pretty deep in terms of talent. I think Portland's easily the worst. So I'm on the under 10.5. I'm not sure it's even close. I think they fly under this. I'm on the under.
And you got to think, the Valkyries are an anomaly.
Correct.
That I created, but an anomaly. Because almost every other expansion team that came in like this were horrible.
Yeah.
The Atlanta Dream, horrible that first year. So now you had two expansion teams, both going after players, already diluting what is a lower talent pool to pick from. And it clearly seems that one team is competent and the other is not. This is, lock. Let's just go ahead and say it. Lock. Portland under 10.5. Double-digit wins. I do not see it.
Am I being harsh? I think 6 wins is actually like a realistic final number for this team. They're going to be really bad.
7 or 8.
How many games are they favored in? Are they going to be favored in a game this season? Maybe a random home game against Connecticut, or one team's missing a bunch of key players late, but
yeah,
they might be favored legitimately like 4 times in the entire season.
If that.
Yeah. So unless they have a great overall dog money line record, they're flying under. So I'm on the under.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see how this constraints-led approach thing and all of this training will go for them, but I don't think that it's going to be an easy transition. This is the first time this is being done like professionally in the WNBA. So, all right. Next up, well, before we get to the next team, let's talk to the people about. Whoa, there we go. Almost lost my spot. All right, now let's talk to the people about Kashi.
I think you got to go back, by the way. I don't think you did the Derby thing.
Oh, no, yeah.
You can just mix that in with the ad read. It's fine.
Yeah, Derby. Derby is this week. Kentucky Derby's this week. It's actually tomorrow, so you better get on that right now. Go check out the Derby preview for the Sports Gambling Podcast. Bet the Kentucky Derby on NYRA Bets. Get a free $25 bet plus $200 deposit match for new members at nyrabets.com/SGPN25. That's nyrabets.com/SGPN25. We're also about to buy Kalshi. Real money prediction market, legal in a ton of states. Kalshi has a whole bunch of trading options for your favorite sports, WNBA, NBA, all of that kind of stuff. Make sure you go check them out over there at Kalshi. New customers get $10 when they use that promo code SGPN. That's Kalshi, KALSHI, promo code SGPN. And we're about to buy Underdog Fantasy. Got you covered for Underdog Fantasy Pick'em. Just picking higher or lower your favorite players' fantasy stats. 2 pick entries pay 3.5x, 3 pick entries pay 6.5x, and then just continue and go on from there. Hey, Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5. Get $50 in bonus funds when you use that sign-up code NBASGPN. That's NBASGPN. All right. Next up, Seattle. Win total of 15.5, 23-21 last season. However, that was with Skylar Diggins-Smith. That was with Nneka Ogwumike.
All the usual faces we're used to are basically gone.
For the most part, especially as time has gone by throughout the years.
Forgot to mention Gabby Williams and Sykes, by the way.
Yep, Gabby Williams, Brittany Sykes gone as well. Erica Wheeler coming off the bench, she's gone as well. You've got Ezzy, you've got Jordan Horston, who we didn't talk about last season because she tore her ACL last season, I believe it was, and Dom Malonga, the big phenom. But other than that, you're talking about Zaya Cook, who's been, at the back of benches throughout the years. You've got Natisha Heideman coming over from the Lynx, taking that bread. They go and they get Flau'jae Johnson from LSU in the draft. our fam with the third pick as well.
Did you
So
like her at
like,
LSU, by the way? I know that she kind of peaked early in her college career, but the same buzz hasn't really been there the last few years. Are you a fan of her as a prospect?
no, I like her game. I think
I'm
she
saying like
is
rookie year. You think she comes in? Do you think she's going to need a couple of like a year or two to just get accustomed?
well, I feel like if I say that, it's going to give away what I feel about Seattle. So like,
Oh, okay.
they're
Never mind.
they're they're not going to be good. You're not going to win Rookie of the Year, and your team's dog shit. But this team's going to be pretty bad too. I'm not going to lie to you. Uh, I just don't see it. Honestly, truly, is a whole bunch of different changes. You go move on, bring in a new head coach. You get rid of all the best scorers that you had last season, and then we talk about how bad Seattle was when Skylar Diggins-Smith was hurt, when NECA was out, like when they just didn't have anybody. They were horrible. Like I remember that point in the season where it was like, God, like Seattle just looks really, really bad right now, and I just don't see what is this team. What is this team? Natisha Heidemann is about to be starting,
Mhm.
and now I love Tish, but like
She might be a better
she's
player in small doses. Kind of thing.
yes. It's gonna be very frustrating. You're gonna be more frustrated than not, and I promise you, it's gonna be at some point. She's probably gonna be regulated back to the bench, or if not traded to a contender, because she gives you good energy off the bench in small doses, as you said.
Mhm.
Like I honestly don't think this is the real team. And I mean, this can go as far as how dominant Damalanga can be in another season, but like that's probably not even enough. Like, I don't know. I don't know. It's not for me. I'm not impressed. I'm not intrigued. Uh Steph Dolson is on this team too. Like I forgot I was watching that. And I was like, God, Steph Dolson is on like she in Washington was so it was a point in time where I remember the whole arena erupting because she hit a three.
Mhm.
And the context was that she had not hit a three in so long that it was just like finally it was a breath of fresh air.
And she also can't rebound, which doesn't help.
So what are we really doing? Like what are we really doing in Seattle? I I don't see it. This is also a very easy under 15 and a half here. There's a lot of other better teams. There's a lot of teams that are probably going to be better than what they were last year or comparable to where they were last year. And I just don't think that they are not one of those teams that's just going to be like, all right, we got new players and we figure it out. I think Seattle's about to go back into the obscurity that they were before all of the Breonna Stewart, Jewel Lloyd, all of that stuff happened.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm on the under. I think this team is just not very good. Unless the only way this team actually overachieves for me is if Malonga just goes absolutely crazy.
Yep.
If Malonga ends up being like a top 10 player in the league and is just like an all-star already in her young career, then maybe this can get interesting. But besides that, I mean, I think Cook's fine. She had 15 plus points per game last year. I think Heidemann's more of a bench player. I don't mind Magbagor, but her stat lines can kind of vanish every now and then. She has a couple of dry spells throughout the entire season. It really comes down to how good Malonga is going to be immediately. She needs to be like top 10, top 15 in the league for Seattle to even approach, in my opinion, like 18 wins. I think they're going under. We've seen Seattle in years past. They're not afraid of benching the veterans to tank. We've seen them do this before. I think that's the approach they should take for this team. They lost all of their star power from last year. They weren't very good last year, yet they were one possession away from beating the eventual champions in the first round, which is just insane to think about. But I do think the Storm are going to intentionally punt the last month of the season. They'll be bad anyway. They'll be out of the playoff race early. They'll roll over. They'll try to improve their draft, once again, potential. And I think they're going to tank. So I like the under. I think they're going to be bad, not as bad as, once again, the Fire, who are in their own tier. They're in the F tier. I'll put Storm at D tier. I'll put them at around 13 wins.
This is probably the team that the Fire are favored against. At home, favored against the Seattle Storm. Like, that could be something where I'm like, oh, okay. Like, but I don't think they're going to be good at all. I think halfway through the season we're going to be cruising to this under. So
yeah, and I think you'll agree with me though, based on what they've done in the past when Stewie left and all this other stuff. They've not been afraid of taking a gap year and just basically admitting we're terrible. We'll get a high draft pick and then we'll try to sign some people. This feels like a bridge year. They lost everyone. They'll say, screw it. We'll see what we got right now, but mostly going to be bad. And then next year, they might sign some free agents. That's the vibe I'm getting from this franchise.
I don't even think that it's even. I don't think they're going to need to tank. I think they will be trying their hardest to win games. They just can't.
No, I meant tanking. I meant tanking in terms of like free agency. They lost everybody and said, you know what? We're not going to replace anyone. We'll get a couple of like bench players who are going to get more minutes now with Heidemann. But they clearly are fine with letting Malanga cook, and they'll just go from there. And I think that's going to be a disaster. But I think it's an intentional disaster. So I'm on the under.
All right.
I mean, they got outspent by like Toronto, for example. Like they could have made some moves. They just chose not to.
My Valkyries. Yeah, that win total increased this year.
Can still, they need to be 500 minimum to go over.
Hey, that win total increased. 21.5 for my Valkyries this year.
What was it last year? Like 8.5? 10.5?
Oh no, it was I think it was originally like 12.5. And then everybody kept buying in and it was a 10.5. And I believe when the season tipped off, it got as low as 8.5. And everybody that just kept pushing that under. All of them, I'm guaranteed fake WNBA watchers that were just like, this is a new team, expansion team. They're going to be horrible. And I was sitting here telling you they got a good coaching tree to grab somebody off of. They made some very good moves with the people that they got. I'm telling you, this ragtag group is going to go out there and be competitive. And look at them. 2 games above 500, go to the playoffs. Great home atmosphere. You locked in and you brought everybody in. Brandon Przemski did not get traded from the Warriors, so now he's again at courtside another season, bringing the energy. I mean, come on, my Valkyries looking to bounce back after their early exit in the playoffs last year. We'll see how they look.
What were they again? Like plus 2,000 to make the playoffs last year or something crazy?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what
crazy people. Crazy people, man. Gotta start listening to the WNBA Gambling Podcast. All right. Veronica Burton got a bag.
She deserved it.
Also got an award, Most Improved Player. Natalie Nakase, Coach of the Year. So now Kayla Thornton, Ileana Rupert, Janelle Salon, the rookie, had a really good season. Very happy to see that. Basically bringing a lot of the same people back. Yes, there was some poaching.
Well, you forgot one player that they did.
No, I'm not. No, I didn't know.
Okay, just making sure.
Relax.
Okay.
Got a lot of the same players back. There was some poaching, and Lete, I believe, and Lassini, it was all it was some poaching, but we're fine because we went and we signed. And it's crazy because you hear people talk about this move, and they're not talking about the fact that this is the hometown kid. Gabby Williams comes over from the Seattle Storm, and you throw her on that Valkyries team. She embodies the Valkyries. Like when they signed it, I said, if there's ever a Valkyries level player that's going to go out there, make the right play the entire time, give them a boost on offense, gives you that defense that you want, both sides of the ball, it's Gabby Williams. And this is where she's from? Oh, man. I mean, again, another player where it's not like, oh, let's just all go guard Gabby Williams because she can make the play, pass the ball, and facilitate the offense. And now it's going to be more of that Valkyries offense where you don't know who's going off. You don't know you're going to have to stop all season. It's going to be Janelle Salam one night. It's going to be Gabby one night. It's going to be Veronica Burton another night. You're going to be frustrated because it's all these different players that could just have a night, and that could be the thing that does you in. plus the fact that they're all world defensively. I mean, yes, it'll be hard. First 2 seasons have a 500 record. A lot of people wouldn't call for it. I am. You thought I wasn't? Of course I am. Valkyries, first 2 seasons in the league, first 2 seasons above 500, first 2 seasons in the playoffs. And if they catch the right team, they win in that first playoff series. I love my Valkyries go over 21.5 wins here. Scott?
I'm going to respectfully disagree. I think the Valkyries are going to be close to this number, so I think it could go either way. But I do think last year, I mean, you were higher than anybody else, and it worked out very well for you, and I ended up tailing, of course. But I think last year was kind of the shock and awe season where most people around the league thought this team was going to be terrible, and they'd go into Golden State, and they were really bad when they traveled to Golden State, because the Valkyries were incredible at home last year. I do think that part of the, once again, shock value is gone. And I think that people are not going to overlook the Valkyries like what happened last year. Gabby Williams, great player. Hopefully she stays healthy. Burton played every game last year. I'm hoping the durability stays, once again, positive for her. There's always a chance she ends up missing a couple of games here. It might just come down to how talented the rest of the league is. We know Portland's terrible. We know Seattle's going to take a back seat. The Wings, though, we'll mention in a second. Massive win total there. Mercury's still high. Sparks have a massive jump in their win total. Toronto's also supposed to be decent this year. I like the East more than the West in terms of depth this season. It might just be based on how many teams I just like around the Valkyries, and I think that 21.5 is pretty high. We had some really bad teams last year. Chicago stunk. We saw Seattle stunk. And Seattle was fine, but they were very up and down. But once again, Dallas was terrible all of last year. The Sparks were not very good. They were up and down, mostly down. I just think the league all around got better. Or at least I think the talent got a bit more balanced.
Who got better?
Throughout the league. Well, based on win totals, Dallas is supposed to be better.
Yeah, but I'm not worried about Dallas.
Year. I get it. We'll mention that in a second. But the point is, I think the Valkyries had a lot of, I'd say, once again, surprise factor going in their favor last year. And I love Nakase. I love, once again, Burton as a player. Gabby Williams, we took her props all year long, basically, and she made us a lot of money with the RA midway through the season. But I think this number feels about right to me. I think that this is a very tough league. I think the Valkyries had a great season last year, but do I pick them to replicate it in the sequel? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say slightly below this number. I think it's going to be very close, though. But I have them at like 20 and 24, maybe 21 and 23. But I think it's very close. I'll go under.
Wow.
I know. I'm a traitor.
Yeah, it's all right. You shall be wrong, my Valkyries. They gotta have somebody to prove wrong. Tippes was hurt like basically all last season.
She played half the games. Basically, she played 26 out of the 44.
Yes, they have so much. They have so much room for improvement, and it's all off the back of that defense. Like at the end of the day, if you have a really, really solid defense, you are going to have a lot to say. All right. Next up, Dallas. 22.5. First overall, AZ Fudd.
Did you agree with that pick?
No, I didn't. I thought they should have went bets. They should have secured more on the inside. They do bring in Jessica Shepard and Alana Smith, who I think are both some very good additions to the team.
I'm with you, by the way. I think that should have been the number one pick.
I don't think that, or it should have been like a trade. And, or Olivia Miles. Like, I think Olivia Miles is a better player than AZ Fudd. I'll just go ahead and say that. So now people are going to clip that. But
Miles
I do think
is a demon, though.
I think Olivia Miles is a better player than AZ Fudd. So ultimately, I do not think it was the right pick at 1. However, if new coach Jose Fernandez thinks that, this is it, then all right, now make it all mesh and get together. They keep Arike Agumawale. That was one thing a lot of people were speculating in the offseason of them moving on from Arike, and this is Paige Becker's team. So it is now still Paige and Arike playing together. AZ Fudd, like I said, Jessica Shepard, and Alana Smith coming over and helping that team and hopefully giving them a lot better contributions defensively. That is one of the big things that's always the problem with the Dallas Wings is being able to get stops defensively, and they just couldn't. It's not stops. Couldn't get stops at all. Any way, shape, or form. They did re-sign Odyssey Sims, Scott. So Odyssey is a part of this roster, and we'll see her for the duration of a whole season. So I'm interested to see how does that look with Odyssey, Isaiah James, JJ Quinterly, all on the bench. Like, I'll just Alicia Clark.
It's a very
also
interesting bench. We'll see what happens.
There's so much going on. It's just so much going on, and they have so many guards. It's just like you got to build consistency. Some of these people aren't going to see the floor. Quinterly's probably not going to see the floor, and it probably starts to limit Isaiah James minutes. Honestly, those are the two players that gave them some really good minutes last year that they're probably not going to this season. Grace Berger is also on this team. Like, okay, yes, in a sense, Dallas is different, but they're kind of the same. And will they be a force offensively? Probably. But if Alana Smith and Jessica Shepard don't come in and make a huge impact on that team defensively, they're cooked. They're cooked. And I think that's the thing that's frustrating with me is that I am relying on Dallas to turn things around in a big way so that they look solid defensively. And I'm really depending on three people. I'm depending on the new head coach. I'm depending on Jessica Shepard, Alana Smith, and Alicia Clark. And we'll see how much all those people play. I get it. They want to. Paige is great. Paige is really, really good. Arike is really good too. But they were both playing together, and it amounts to 10 wins last year. We'll see if this is just a complete 1 year turnaround, but I am not optimistic. And I think that they can be better than 10 wins and still not be great. They can be an 18-win team and just barely miss the playoffs, or a 19-win team and just barely miss the playoffs. Even 20 wins, sure. But like, if you're just telling me this is a bona fide playoff team, I don't know. So I will take under.
Yeah, you forgot to mention one key factor, by the way.
What?
If Beckers gets injured, they're totally screwed.
Oh, yeah. Well, that.
And she missed 8 games last year. So we'll see if she's actually healthy or not. I'm on the under with you. This number's too high. I think they needed more front court depth. Sims is interesting. I think she's the most intriguing bench option or depth option they have, but that's still, once again, not the most reliable option at this stage in her career. We'll see how that works out. But I do think Dallas is a team that really is so offensively driven that defensively they've always had issues, as you mentioned before. And I'm not really a fan of how the roster looks. I get that Fudd, of course, is dating Beckers, and that's why I think that's a big reason why they drafted her. That could go really poorly. It worked out for AT and Bonner, but that's kind of, once again, a rare situation there what worked out. That could be a problem. Do I think Fudd is a great player? No. I think that she's fine. She kind of vanished in the tournament there for UConn, separate point. I question if she's going to be an immediate impact player in the W, or if she will need the year of struggle before figuring out her game at the next level. There is no guarantee that she's going to hit the ground running and walk into 15 a game. I just don't see that happening. And I think they needed her to do that if they were going to be a solid 24-win team, etc. I think Fudd's going to struggle. I know that her outside shot could definitely result in immediate success. But as we said a second ago, we agreed. She should not have been the first pick in the draft. We thought there were multiple players who were better than her in the draft. You mentioned Miles. I would have taken Betts because you needed the front court depth. And, of course, you won a title with UCLA. I don't think they did a great job of addressing the issues this team had. And do I still think, elephant in the room, do I still think that Beckers and Ogunbowale can play together? And the answer for me has always been no. I think they're a horrible fit together. I think Ogunbowale wants to do her own thing, and Beckers needs the ball in her hands. So I see a really bad pairing with their two best players. I'm on the under. I think they'll finish somewhere around 17 or 18. You think I left anything there?
I didn't think they drafted her because they were dating.
No, I'm just throwing
Players.
it out there. That's a side story that's going to be talked about.
No, I think that it was. I think it's funny how they like said we're not talking about it, so now that's all everybody's talking about.
Yeah.
But like, I think ultimately, like,
It depends how much pull you think star players have when it comes to draft decisions. Because if you think Paige was pulling for anybody to be the draft pick, you're assuming it would be her girlfriend. You'd assume if Paige actually had pull. She might not have had pull, but there's a chance she did.
yeah, no. I think they because there's a large like a large amount of people that do think that AZ Flood was the best player to draft, and
We
that's
both
where I'm
don't
just
feel that
like,
way.
yeah, that's where I'm like, it's just too, we just see things differently. And there's people that value AZ a lot, and there's people that don't value her as much. And I just happen to be one of the people that don't value her as much.
I think she'll be a good pro, but I don't see her being the immediate impact rookie of the year, 18 points per game player. I just don't see that being her game. So I'm on the under with you.
All right. Rhythm. Official data tool for dominating MLB, NBA, golf. Also, you can lock in with Rhythm's models, help them cash in and build and dominate the books yourself. Promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app for 25% off your first month. Download Rhythm and use that promo code SGPN25. We're also brought to you by Novig, America's #1 sports prediction market. You know you're getting the best prices in the market with Novig. Get $50 when you spend $5. When you use that promo code SGPN, get in on the action with Novig, promo code SGPN. All right. Next up. Who's up?
Next up, we have
Mercury. Phoenix Mercury. Win total of 23.5, 27-17 last year. Very, very big news for Phoenix as they do not retain Satu Sabali. She moves on to the New York Liberty. We've already gone over that. So
made the finals last year.
It really wasn't like anything that they really brought in. They drafted 2 picks that are 19. They're not going to play this year because they're overseas. So they'll be playing with this team another time. But it's not really an off-season ad that they kind of brought in. So you're pretty much running it back, and you're just no Satu this time around.
Mm-hmm.
More Natasha Mack minutes, so more threat on the glass.
You a fan of Mack?
I think she's a good plug and play. She gets by. She gets you by. It's not going to be nothing spectacular. She's just going to go out there and do her job.
Are you a fan of potentially Makani being in the starting lineup?
Makani was always in the starting lineup. Like, she's always a good player.
I'm saying, but with a bigger role, because Satu we know is a bigger scorer. Do you think she can potentially?
No.
Because somebody's gonna have to step up scoring.
Yeah, but Makani was starting like literally day one, so I'm not concerned about her. Like, I think she's fine. I don't think that it's really like anything to figure out. Like, this is what I mean. Phoenix was playing around Satu all season last year, kind of with the injuries and things that she has going on. It was always Clea Copper's team with AT, and AT just using the pieces around her and making a play, and this team being solid defensively. And so, is the core of that gone? Not really. I mean, Satu is always a good piece to add, but like, do I think anything really, really changes for the Phoenix Mercury? I don't think so. I think that they're going to go out there. They're going to win a bunch of games. AT will be really good and carry his team as she's done throughout her entire career. They'll probably be one of the better teams in the league. Maybe not the best team, but, you know, definitely up in that upper echelon of the league. And they'll probably win a playoff series or even 2. Like, I think Phoenix is ultimately going to be fine. I don't think anything's really changing here. I guess that just means over. You go over 23.5, and they're probably want some 24, 25 win team, definitely above 500, and probably a few games above 500. So I'll go over.
Yeah, the one issue that I do have, though, of course, is that Satu, who's been injured her entire career, actually did play a bunch of games last year. She played 39 out of the 44, led the team in scoring, so she was very solid. She went nuclear in the playoffs, but Satu was a very good regular season player last year. So anytime you lose your leading scorer and you replace her with nobody, it's probably not a great look. Having said that, I don't mind Copper taking more shots. Copper did miss 16 games, and we know Copper can be lethal as an overall player. AT, we know, is incredible. She's easily a top 4 player in the league?
Yeah.
Yeah. So anytime you have a superstar, you can definitely win a bunch of games. And she might put together another triple-double streak that we saw last year. I'm with you. They won 27 last year. There could be a bit of regression, which still gets you over this number. I'm going to trust AT to lead an offense by herself. I'm going to trust defensively the Mercury to bring it. And I do think with, once again, the question of the overall depth, they can easily be aggressive and trade for somebody. Like, Phoenix is not afraid of making a move mid-season and trying to get an extra amount of firepower. They would definitely be buyers at the deadline. So I can see them being aggressive if things don't go that well early. They might make some moves. I can see them pulling the trigger. So based on that, I like the overall aggressiveness of the front office. I do think that this team should be pretty good. My main issue with this team is the logo. I hate this new logo they have. I think it's very corporate. It sucks. It's an awful logo compared to what they originally had. That's my main flaw with this team. And the logo stinks, but that's cosmetic. I'll go over. I'll pick them to win 25.
I think that they are also going to make a move because big news here, Scott. If you want to hit the breaking, not breaking news drop.
Yeah, I got to find it first. So just give me a second.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got it. I just needed to play.
Catherine Westbeld looks like a torn ACL.
Okay.
She's out for the year. That's going to be – you're going to want another center in there, and she could spread the floor. So I think that they'll probably be in the market for a big at some point. But for the most part, they're fine. They're good. All right. Let's see here. Next up, this is the Los Angeles Sparks, who we'll see what the Sparks are able to become this year. Of course, you got Kelsey Plum, that is the leader, high dynamic scorer of this team. Derek Hamby, Ray Burrell. Nneka Ogwumike has made her return back to the Los Angeles Sparks. We'll see what that looks like here in this season. They also trade Rickea Jackson for Ariel Atkins.
Did you like that move?
No.
Okay. I feel the same way. Just ask.
Cameron Brink also. I have a note here on Cameron Brink from, Coach Roberts said the current outlook of the Sparks rotation, on the current outlook of the Sparks rotation, if we had a game tomorrow, Cam Brink would come off the bench.
Okay.
So that's where she's at. It looks like it's going to be Plum, Hamby, Nneka, Ariel more than likely.
Burrell, question mark?
Probably Burrell. They also brought in Erica Wheeler. She's probably coming off the bench. So more than likely Burrell. But I can see this changing.
You know what that means, though, with Brink coming off the bench? It means a bunch of overs again.
Oh, yeah. So I think they just said we need better players, so let's just bring in better players. And now they think they're going to win a bunch more games. And, sure, they have better names on the team, but, ultimately, when have the Sparks never been the Sparks? Outside of the season where they were, horrible, the Sparks have always been a 500 at best, maybe probably below, right there, fighting for that last playoff spot, trying to ink their way into playoffs somehow. When have the Sparks ever 25 and a half? That automatically says that you are great. You are good. You are legit.
It means you're a lock for a playoff spot, and I'm not sure this team actually is. But to be fair, they were really bad to start last year. They were 4-11. And they did make a push for a playoff spot. They didn't get there in the end, but they were really bad early before things started kind of gelling a bit. But as you said, I feel like they just threw some stuff in, they were running a franchise mode in a 2K game, and they ignored the entire fit. They just said we're going to try to get some key names and hopefully it works out.
Yep.
That's the vibe I got with this team. And defensively, with Brink coming off the bench, I think they're still going to be really bad defensively. Now, I like Wheeler. I think Wheeler's a solid glue player, who I think eventually will start for this team. I think Burrell's more of a bench player for me. I don't know if you agree with that. I think Wheeler's, I'd say, defensive versatility, I think would make her a better starter on this team than Burrell. But we'll see what happens. But it's a high number, as you said.
And it's just like they still got Julie Van Loo, who's going to come in and run that offense with the second unit in the plum relief minutes. Like, is there a world where I see Lynn Robert figuring this out? Yeah, sure. But, like, what does figuring this out look like? Does that look like 26 wins? I just don't know.
26 and 18 is asking a lot when I look at the score. I like the front court, though. Of course, with Nneka and Hamby, that's a monster front court. But we know Plum can be pretty streaky at times. Do you like their bench? They have some interesting pieces. I don't know if I trust them in case Plum goes down.
I guess that's what this makes me wonder. How good is Nneka at this point in her career? Because if Nneka is that good, then okay, this will be a considerable jump. But like, if Nneka is just like 17 points per game good, I don't know.
I think we're on the same page here. The record in my mind was like 24 and 20.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of where I was at. I thought 25 and a half was a bit high. In fact, I probably would have flipped their win total with the Mercury. I would have had the Mercury at 25 and a half and the Sparks at 23 and a half if I had to do it myself. But I'll go on the Sparks.
Literally. I think the Mercury are a better team, and that's why I have to go under. 25 and a half.
Yeah. I think they'll be a playoff team, but I don't think they'll be 26, like, top 4 seed team.
Yeah.
I know where I'm at.
Minnesota. Win total of 26 and a half. They were 34 and 10 last season. Now, this is going to be an interesting season. I'm actually very interested to see where you fall on this one total, Scott, because how competitive are they going to be? They lost a lot of talent. Jessica Shepard, Alana Smith. You talk about Natisha Heidemann and that piece off of the bench, and that's leaving. Not to mention what they lost the year before that to losing Xander Lucini and, you know, all these pieces that them. Jessica Shepard was really big as that backup big for them, sometimes in the starting lineup. You bring in Olivia Miles, shout out to the Chicago Sky. And so, okay, that's going to help. But Kayla McBride is out because of some ear issue that just can't get fixed. And then you got Collier with the ankle.
For the record, she said that she's going to be doing some type of like workouts. She'll be out until at least June is the understanding that I have. So maybe early June, but probably minimum the first month, if I had to guess more. That's the updated projection for the timetable. So I'd say a month minimum absence for Collier. Could be more.
Yep. And then you also talk about bringing in Natasha Howard to give you some more depth in that front court. You bring in Nia Coffey as well from the Atlanta Dream. So more depth options to go to in that front court. They do have players that they like in the building. And so Courtney Williams going to be the leader of this team. Dorka Juhas. We didn't talk about Dorka last year because she, I believe, was it? I can't remember if it was ACL or pregnancy. I hate to say it like that.
I thought it was a knee issue.
Okay, so it was ACL. All right. You know, sometimes the ACL and pregnancy have the same timeline as the WNBA.
I thought it was a knee issue when you brought the name, so I'm pretty sure it was a knee issue.
Yeah. All right. So you bring in Dorka. Dorka should be back, and that's going to bring some relief in the front court. I don't think that there's going to be like this big, crazy drop off. Of course, it's not going to be 34 wins good because that's just obsessional. You know, like that's top of the league good. But I still think Minnesota is going to be fine. And when Collier comes back, they're going to go on a run. And I think maybe the second half of the season is really where they turn on the Jets and it starts looking a lot closer. But like, also, I don't know what the word is going to be with Olivia Miles. There are people, you know, the sites are projecting her to be in a starting lineup. I wouldn't 100% say that she would automatically be in a starting lineup because if I know Cheryl's good, you're gonna earn your stripes no matter who you are, second overall pick, first overall pick, whatever. If you don't fit in the starting lineup off the rip, you're not in the starting lineup, but you will be coming off the bench and you'll have to claw your way up. I like the coaching staff. I still think it's talent on the team, and then Collier should be back at some point. So I'm still going over 26.5 here for Minnesota. I just think that it will be close, and it'll be a lot closer to 27 than 30.
The only question that I have is, do you think you're better off waiting until you get a better number midseason? Because I am wondering if they're going to stumble, it's going to be at the gate. Because with Collier back, assuming that she's going to come back at relative full strength, they're going to be favored in almost every game. Like this
And
team
we got to
is
figure
an
out what's
absolute
going on
machine.
with Caleb McBride.
Correct. McBride, though, I saw, according to recent reports, not on the injury report for the last preseason game. So I guess they figured out something. So we'll see what happens. But apparently, as of recent update, she's not on the injury report anymore, which is a good sign. We'll see if it comes back to, once again, bother her. But I do think this team will go over eventually. This team is so good at developing players. It's why they always get poached in every single expansion draft, because everyone wants the role players. They can easily just create solid role players off the bench that you've never heard of, and they'll give you a solid 15 minutes per game. Do you think they have the best player development program in the entire league?
Possibly.
Possibly, but they're really good at it. Now, Miles is nasty, and she's going to be a phenomenal player in the league. I think she could be a very impactful rookie on this team as well. So she's surrounded by a bunch of talent. She can definitely thrive with different roles in the same team. And it's why I think it's insane that the league will let the Lynx get her, because she's going to be a monster on this team once she figures it out. Yeah. She's really, really good. Shout out to the Sky. But anyway, I think we'd agree Miles could easily win Rookie of the Year. I'd argue she was the most talented player in the draft. You could argue Betts. I think she's better than Fudd. Do we agree on that? Maybe controversial take?
Yeah.
I think she's really, really good. So based on that, she could definitely be a really solid piece. Still got Courtney Williams, who both of us love on the show. We are expecting Collier to play for most of the months of the season. But the question is, do you get a mid-season number of like 24.5 if they stumble at the gates? Maybe, but I still like the over. 28-16 is very realistic for this team. I got them going over.
All right.
Collier comes back, they might go 1 month, like only losing 2 games. They might run through the league if Collier's back to full strength, Kayla's healthy, you throw in Miles, who's actually playing like
I think they would
phenomenal
challenge.
rookie.
I think they would challenge like the good teams of the league. Like I think it would be a good game them versus Atlanta. I think it would be a good game them versus the
Yeah.
Liberty. We'll talk about the Aces in literally just a second. But like I think these will all be good games when they're at full strength. So
And you remember last year? Last year they were really good without Collier when she got injured. They won a bunch of games without her.
yeah.
They're just a very solid next woman up approach team. And I think that if Miles is as good as we think she's going to be, she can be a very impactful rookie who helps swing games. I'm on the over with you.
All right. Last up. The Las Vegas Aces, the defending champions, back here yet again to defend another championship. We're talking about them and winning titles, and that's just what they do. Chelsea Gray, Asia Wilson, Jackie Young, Jewel Lloyd, all retained with this new CBA and all of that. Those were the big things they were talking about. Dana Evans is back.
It's
Melissa
basically
Smith
the
is
exact, the exact same squad because they won the title. They ran it back.
And then just, hey, here's Kennedy Carter back in the league. Gonna be a force. Gonna carve out minutes. Probably a lot of Dana Evans minutes. Hopefully Kirsten Bell doesn't see the floor. So 30.5. They had 30 wins last year.
I want to pull up the record before they went on that insane run in the back half. I just want to see what they were at.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah, because they were like a 500 team for a decent portion of the season. And then they basically didn't lose for about 3 months. So they were 9-11 on July 10th. And once again, they finished 30-14. So they went 21-3 in their final 24 games. So just something to keep in mind. A lot of their 14 losses were early.
Over.
I think I have to agree with you. They have the WNBA GOAT on the roster. I can't really pick against Asia. People can argue about whether or not she deserved certain awards last year. I don't care. She's the best player of all time. Because people thought Collier deserved, and then she got injured, and then people kind of used it against her at the end.
Oh, Asia's run in that 21-3 span was incredible.
Oh, no, I would have voted for Asia, but there was some controversy about Collier having the injury, whatever.
Incredible.
Yeah, Asia's the best player I've ever seen in this league.
Gosh.
So that was one piece of controversy. But the point is, I think she deserved it. We both thought she did. And Collier got injured. It sucks, but Asia is the GOAT in the league already. And last time I checked, she's still in her prime. So anytime you have her on your roster, you're guaranteed for basically 27 wins minimum. You throw in the entire supporting cast, which did take some time to gel, mainly Jewel Lloyd, who was not great early in the season, but she found her role, and she was definitely a big part of them winning the title in the playoffs. I'm on the over again. Chelsea Gray was also not great early in the season. She kind of figured it out as the season went along. But why would I take the under? Do I think the team's going to lose 15 games? No. The only argument is if you have some injuries or if they don't care about seeding and they're just trying to stay healthy and they sit some people. But they're going to be favored in almost every game because this team is so good. They've won so many titles together. There's no reason to pick against Asia, who can take over any game or even any month by herself. I'm on the over with you. Asia might win MVP again. She's the best player in the league's history. It is what it is. Give me the over. They might win like 34 games. They might lose less than 10 games. Who knows? But I'm on the over. I'd end up getting to it at least 31.
The concern is the big position and how that's going to play out because they do like to have an actual big. And so they bring in Breonna Turner. Cheyenne Parker-Tyus is a full season removed from a baby now and not playing, the same season. So she should be better. I think this would be a nice spot for her to carve out a nice role in the front court. But that's going to be the big problem here is just making sure that we have, an appropriate big to play alongside Asia.
That's why they used to always throw Stokes out there for like 20 minutes and they would just move on. But it's kind of the same idea.
But other than that, yeah, all systems go. Really nothing to talk about here. The Aces all the way. Aces are probably going to be in the finals competing for another championship again, if we're being honest.
As long as Asia's in her prime, you just blindly pick them to make a deep run. It usually works out.
Yep.
Do you agree? She's the GOAT? I know Maya Moore retired early, but I think
after last season, after what I watched last season, I was like, if there was ever any doubt, not that there was much, but if there was ever any doubt, it was solidified that last season.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Asia is the best player in the history of the league.
Locks.
But we have a co-lock already, which we already mentioned on the show.
Lock up the Portland Fire.
Correct.
Under 10.5 wins. I will
also the Storm in there?
I will also lock up the Storm because I think they're in the same breath as Portland, under 15.5.
I'm not going to go that far. I don't think they're in the same breath, but same somewhat vicinity.
No, I think it's pretty much the same breath, honestly.
I think they'll win like double digits.
If Portland's favored in games, I'm almost positive it'll probably be against the Seattle Storm.
Okay.
I really, really like a lot of these win totals. I will lock up Sparks under 25.5.
You going Wings under?
No, but I want to. I'll keep it at 3 to avoid locking up all these teams, but I do feel really good about a few of these win totals, but definitely those are 3 teams that I'm selling on, mainly because I feel like I was a lot of over in the last one. I'm definitely selling on Portland. I'm definitely selling on Seattle. Definitely selling on the Sparks. And I guess I do need an over here. Of course, it's going to be like an Aces over, but
it's in the Aces of the Lynx.
My Valkyries, 21.5. Just to keep it going. I'm fairly confident they're going to have another really good season that will rival the season they just had. So, Yeah, that's my best bet.
Yeah, it's a massive letdown. We have the same 3 best bets. At the same exact thing that you wanted to do. The Fire were a guaranteed lock. The Storm, we think, are abysmal. They lost almost their entire starting lineup from last year. So that's just a complete pass. That's definitely an under on them. And the Sparks are too high. I don't think they are going to play any defense. And the fact that Brink's coming off the bench tells me that either, one, she's not still fully ready to be a full defensive anchor in a WNBA team.
Or they're stupid.
Or they're dumb, correct. So based on that, I just see a bunch of high-scoring games. You mentioned NECA being older. We'll see if that works out well. I doubt it. I think Atkins is a worse player than Rakia. I think Atkins is fine as a veteran, but I like Rakia as a player. I know we both do. So I'll go with the under on them too. So we're kind of eye to eye here, but I will throw in the Lynx over 26.5.
I like it.
I get injuries play a factor. Collier, once again, might only miss a month. We saw last year they were great even when she didn't play. And I think Miles is going to be really, really good. We'll mention her for awards at some point because I think she's going to be a phenomenal pro. But the Lynx have always been a phenomenally coached team, maybe a chip on their shoulder after they got embarrassed by the Mercury in the playoffs last year. I think that the framework is there for another standard 28-plus win season. And Collier, we know, is one of the best 3 players in the entire league. So I'll go for the Lynx as well at 26.5 over.
All right. Anything else for people before we get up out of here, Scott?
Not really. A reminder, I just said a second ago, award episodes. That's our next collection of episodes. We have some awards to do. We still have to decide if we want to do it in one episode or we're going to break it up. So we'll see what happens. We might do 2, who knows. But we have awards, then followed by, of course, team futures. And then the season starts. So there you go.
All right. He's at Reichel Radio. I'm at really real __. Make sure you give us a follow at SGPN NBA, youtube.com/NBA Gambling Podcast, and a 5-star rating and review wherever you get your podcast. With that, that's it. I have nothing else to say, nothing else to do. No other way of ending the podcast. Just going to like this. We are out of here.